Are you a business owner looking to grow on social media? Today, I'm joined by the waxing queen, Elda. She has almost over 3 million followers on social media. And it's been amazing watching her grow in there. Your content's awesome. People love you. And so, let's talk about your secrets today so that people can, if they're trying to grow their own social media, they can. So, can you tell them a little bit about, how you got started and how you grew your following?
Of course. Hey guys. I got started during COVID. I feel like a lot of people either lost their jobs or their jobs were, put on hold for a bit. And so one thing I noticed was during COVID when everyone was struggling and trying to figure out what they were going to do, people were just charging a lot for like continuing education,
Mhm.
especially for like, Brazilian videos cuz being a waxer that's what we mainly do. And so I just wanted to start social media and I was like, what if I do a YouTube that I post fun educational videos, but it's free because, obviously people can watch it on YouTube for free. And I just started doing that and it just kind of took off from there. And then I did my research because it's important to know what you're doing. And I explored other social media platforms and it's just been a good roller coaster ride since then.
Awesome. And just to give people a background, you're a waxing artist as your full time profession. So you do waxing in your beauty studio.
Yes, I do waxing services, not full body, but, certain things now.
Awesome. And so you do that, and then your content's based a lot around that.
Yes, it's based around that. It's based about like social media is weird. You got to keep people entertained. I
Mhm.
notice that, especially like on TikTok, people don't like boring, right?
Right.
So you got to be fun, you got to be educational and entertaining at the same time.
So how
So
do you come up with these ideas?
I want to be different. I don't want to look like what everyone's doing. Like I want to be just unique. It's wax on, wax off. It's pretty simple. But then I say to myself, well, how can I be different? How can I make viewers and, people that are going to potentially follow you remember me? Like
Mhm.
I have to stand outside like of everyone else. I can't be in the same box. So
So what's one of your most viral videos?
one of my most viral videos, I won't even say viral video, but I'll say like my viral part of my content creation is I just came up during Halloween one year, Skelly.
Mhm.
It's a
Yeah.
skeleton, and it started off with just me using skeleton hands, and then I just did, like, that one video just to do, like, something for Halloween, and then everyone just kinda took off with it, and they even think he's real. I mean, it's a fake skeleton, so now I have, like, a full body skeleton, and we have a good time, and basically, he's kinda like my alter ego, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
He says the things that I want to say, but cannot say. So even though people know that I'm voice overing this character using, like, a AI voice, it's kinda, like, not me, like, it's just him. He has his own character, his own identity, his own little swag, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, because I know when you come to these shows, like we're at a beauty conference right now,
Mhm.
you're always like, "Hey, I couldn't bring Skelly."
Well, oh, it's a big I can't it's a big well, I could have bought them now because I drove here,
Yeah.
but, yeah, usually when I'm flying out, like, I don't wanna be on an airplane with a skeleton, it's just gonna look weird. It's like a full body
Mhm.
skeleton too, so
So with your social media content, are you doing that to get more clients or to build more of an audience? Like, what is your goal behind that?
So in the beginning, the YouTube part was definitely to help educate and provide that for free because, like I said, paying $1,000 for a Brazilian virtual class, like no
Mhm.
one has that. Like
Yeah.
we're not working; it's COVID time. The other stuff was just to have a good time and to have fun, and to also get clients. Now, Facebook was a really huge deal for me to get my clientele because
Mhm.
Facebook ads really push you out and it's very like specific based. You can kind of tell them what your target audience is,
Mhm.
and then it just works and it does what it's supposed to do.
Awesome. So you used Facebook and Facebook ads a lot to get your initial
Mhm.
clientele. When did you kind of start building your TikTok?
I started building my TikTok maybe well, I actually got my first account banned. Um, and so I had to start over. So that's why I always tell people do not give up. But I started building my TikTok maybe like it's been like almost 3 years. It hasn't even been that long. So
So I guess with social media, it can be kind of intimidating for people. So
mhm.
like, how often do you feel like you need to post?
I felt like in the beginning, I will if you go viral, you need to keep that momentum up. Because if someone's interested in this viral video that you have, what are they going to do? They're going to go to your profile to watch more content.
Mhm.
And if it's not there or if there's nothing there, then their attention span is just so quick. They move on to the next thing. But I started off doing 3, 4 videos a day. I feel like at least one of the 3, 4 videos will push and go viral, if that makes sense. So I believe in that. I mean, the algorithm on TikTok is different since TikTok has changed a bit,
Yeah.
but definitely post 1 to 2 videos in the start. If you have time, do 3 to 4 videos.
Okay. And so how long does it take you to film and edit and post a video?
Honestly, I do everything through TikTok. TikTok editing is amazing. I used to pay for like fancy apps and editing things. I don't do that anymore. So I go on TikTok, record the video, and then it's the same video that I download and save to post on. Oh, I'm sorry, am I hitting it? Oh, download and save to post on the other platforms. So basically, I want to say it takes me like 5 minutes to record an underarm wax because it's an underarm wax. And then it take me 5 minutes to edit and do a voiceover. So the more I do it, I notice the quicker and better I am at it. And so you just kind of get used to it. It's
Okay.
like clockwork.
Yeah, for sure. And how do you come up with these ideas?
I brainstorm. I think it's important to have not just a business plan. I have a business plan and I have a social media plan. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So on a nice quiet Monday, client free, I like to just sit down and brainstorm like what's my next ideas for content creation because you just can't do the same thing. It starts looking repetitive. And so if you like go and watch one of my videos, it's just going to feel like you watched it already, so you're going to move on to something else. So I did something that's pretty cool the other last month, the Met Gala. You've heard of that, right?
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh my god, these outfits look amazing." So I started doing the wax color, matching it to my favorite Met Gala looks. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that was pretty cool and really interesting, and it really kept people engaged.
Okay.
So,
Awesome. And then as far as like when you look at other beauty professionals, because I know a lot follow you and a lot talk to you,
mhm.
what do you see them going wrong with social media?
Well, not posting, not following up with the comments.
Mm.
People comment and you have to try your best to respond to them. So sometimes, like for me, I have a video right now going viral. So when I get back to my hotel room, I'll kind of lay there and try to respond to some of the people, because they do like that you're real, you're human, you're engaging with them. Also showing who you are.
Mhm.
I had to eventually realize that I need to put my face to the voice. Now, does that mean that people know who I am? A lot of people still don't know what I look like. But when I go to these beauty shows, people will just recognize me by the voice. They'll stop and they'll be like, "I'm sorry, are you waxing queen?" And I'm like, "What gave it away?" They're like, "Your voice." And then, but just being consistent, having the dedication, because you have to put in the work to see the
Mhm.
results that you want. I mean, that's in anything you do in life.
Yep.
But some people just give up. And I feel like social media is definitely a great thing for your business and an extra source of income if you want it to be as well.
Awesome. And for those who like feel like they don't like doing content, like how did you get yourself, or do you just enjoy it?
You don't have to like doing content, but what you gotta understand is social media is free.
Yep.
Like, these platforms are free. So, if you have a business, it's just the extra exposure to reach clientele.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I think I did a video once, and on the videos, like, I think I had 10 comments, "Oh my god, you're in West Palm Beach, Florida?" And I just happened to mention that. They were like, "I'm right down the street." Like, can you imagine? I'm no longer taking clients, guys, by the way, and I'll tell you why in a second. But can you imagine? That'd be 10 extra clients just from that one video.
Yeah, for sure. And was that just from you tagging like your
No, I
location?
was talking about an event, I think, that was happening in West Palm Beach, and so when people heard me say that, and I was like, "I'll definitely be there because it's only 3 minutes away," so obviously that means I live in West Palm, so they
Mhm.
just started going crazy.
Awesome.
So,
And so do you do anything with YouTube?
I do, I YouTube no longer supports the Brazilian videos, so
Okay.
all of those are gone, but I am rebranding that platform and some other platforms as well to work on a new project that I can't tell you because it's top secret, but I'll let you know later.
All right. Cool. And so as far as like running your beauty business, you said you no longer take clients. Why is that?
I just between I had to make a balance. I can't be a full-time content creator.
Mhm.
Um but I also understand that social media doesn't last forever,
Right.
right? I mean, everyone was always like freaking out in January when we thought TikTok was going to be gone.
Mhm.
So you have to have a backup plan, and waxing is my first love. It's my passion. So of course, I have clientele that I love and respect, and they're super loyal, and so they're regulars. So I just kind of said to myself in 2023, I'm going to just keep the ones that I have and just close off my schedule. Now, every now and then I do post that I need wax models, and I do open my schedule to people who aren't clients, but they have to understand that they're just wax models. They can't remain like, a client moving forward.
Okay, gotcha. And I'm sure in the future, if you ever wanted more clients, the
Yeah,
fact that
I mean,
you
let's just say if
yeah.
social media was gone, like, and let's say like Facebook is like, oh, by the end of this month, we're getting rid of Facebook. Then of course I'll post every day now accepting new clients and I'll get those people logged in before social media is gone. I mean, that wouldn't be an issue, but I have regulars now. It's a good amount of people. It's still over 200 people that I see. So, but I'm not a full-time content creator, which everyone thinks. I
Yeah.
just posted. I find a balance. Basically, you have to in life. So
So I guess that balance probably comes with what people would call time management.
time
So do
management.
you block off time for content or
Yep.
what?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I am recording content, editing content. I am scheduling content because you can schedule your future content or your future posts, and people don't know that to make your life easier. So whatever is getting posted tonight, it's already scheduled. It's
Okay.
going to automatically post by itself, and then just pray that the algorithm does its thing.
So I guess you find that scheduling doesn't affect your reach at all?
No, I schedule would be like scheduling my post.
Mhm.
No, I schedule around where I feel like the peak, like my videos peak the most at certain times. So I schedule very strategically because I notice that certain videos and also certain videos that you do very well. I don't know what it is. I do believe in the power of hashtags, using the right ones as well.
Okay.
But no, I just schedule during certain peak times and I notice that the videos do well. And if a video doesn't do well, it's been like been an hour and I don't have like a certain amount of views that I know I should have, I'll actually delete the video and repost it again. And that typically works and it
Oh.
starts doing well. So
And is
that's
that
another
just
trick.
for TikTok or any platform?
That's just for TikTok. That's the only platform that will do that to you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'd always heard that, if you delete something off Instagram and try to repost it, like the algorithm will
They won't push it.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, just for TikTok that works.
Awesome. And then as far as sorry, I forgot what I was gonna ask.
That's okay.
Oh. And then as far as your other stuff that you do, I know you do like a business credit class. What do you
Yeah,
teach on that?
I'm a certified credit consultant, which a lot of people don't know about me. So I used to repair people's personal credit and also used to help small business owners in my area establish business credit, which is important because you got to keep the
Mhm.
two separate once you become an entrepreneur, your business life and your personal life. So, and I believe in using other people's money.
Yep.
And so that's important to me just to teach that to the community. And now I've kind of implemented that for my ST community. So I do free classes every now and then, or sometime when I collaborate with you and we do
Mhm.
one of your webinars, if people stay till the end, they'll be able to have access to a free business credit class and they can just kind of, get some perks, of being a business owner and just
Mhm.
learn ways to gain some capital. There's like loans out there people don't know about. There's gas cards. There's just like so many things you don't know that you have access to. So I just feel like it's my duty to inform
What do you feel
people.
like are some of the biggest perks people are missing out on?
With having business credit?
Mhm.
Oh God, how much money you make. Like you actually make money from spending people's money. Does that make sense? So every year I take myself on a really nice birthday trip.
Mhm.
5, 6 days, and I don't pay for it at all. Whatever I've accumulated like in points on my
Okay.
business credit
Yeah.
card is what I use to pay and fund my birthday trip.
Yep. I love points.
I love points. Points is the
And
way to
it
go.
kills me to see a beauty professional or any business owner who just puts everything through a debit card.
Yes, you put everything through a debit card. You don't get anything back when you use your debit card.
Yep.
You don't get any cash back rewards. You don't get any points. You don't get any nothing. I also feel like it's important too to not have to sink into your personal savings.
Mhm.
That's why you need that business checking account. And some people, they in their heads they're established business owners that don't even have a business banking account.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And that's gonna hurt them when it comes time for taxes because now
When it comes time
yeah,
and it also doesn't make your business look legit in the eyes
yeah.
of lenders if you're looking for, like, a really good investment in the future, etcetera. So I also do a part of my segment is where I teach you how to have that correct business startup,
Mhm.
so your business looks legit, and so you're eligible for, access to funds that you need.
Awesome. If they ever wanna check out that free class, where do they do it?
You gotta sign up for one of Jake's class. That's the only time I usually offer it, guys. You either signing up for one of Jake's class or you ain't gonna get it.
Awesome, and we'll post a link for one of the upcoming free classes in the description below.
Oh, cool. There you guys go. You're
But,
welcome.
so what brings you here to the Beauty Biz Pro studio?
Okay, so I would never drive to Orlando. Obviously, I'm working, I'm doing the beauty show. And then I was like, you know what? Jake and Tony's studio is like not too far away from where the hotel stay is. And guys, I know you guys are probably thinking you do so much already, but I'm looking for a new adventure soon. I feel like my birthday's coming up. I'm getting older. Like, what do I want to do that is easy and simple and will not only make the person who I'm providing the service to feel good about themselves and happy with it, but obviously make me revenue, right? So I'm looking into permanent jewelry. And we all know that Jake is the man to go to for that. And so I figured I'd take a look at his studio, at his setup, and learn a little bit more about it because that's might be my next business venture.
Yeah, and so for those who don't know, I've been in the beauty industry since 2017, worked with thousands of beauty professionals, and when I heard about permanent jewelry, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is like the best add-on service you could ever do. It's high profit margins, low cost of entry, easy to learn, quick to learn. And when we first started it back in 2022, we started linked permanent jewelry training. 70% of our new students were from my beauty clients. And
Nice.
so it was salon owners, permanent makeup artists, waxing professionals, estheticians. And we saw so many people who doubled or tripled their revenue in their studios or salons or spas
Yeah.
just from adding on permanent jewelry.
Yeah, and that what I like about it is like, okay, you have your machine, and obviously you have your different options, like,
Mhm.
of the links that you wanna like, you wanna put on. But it's different from being a waxer where I need so much stuff, wax sticks, bedroll paper, like all these supplies. Like, so I definitely want to just do something that's easy, especially if I ever plan on retiring, from waxing and focusing on these other business ventures that I'm already kind of working on. Then I feel like that's just a perfect addition. And doesn't take up much space.
Yeah.
Like you got to think smart when you're thinking about like your next business venture. And it's still kind of like it's not really in the beauty industry, but it's still a part of beauty. Does that
Right.
make
Yeah.
sense?
Same
So
psychology.
yeah, it still kind of goes. It makes people feel good about themselves when they wear
Mhm.
jewelry. I'm not really a jewelry person. Like what you see in my ears, like that's different. I used to be a jewelry sales coordinator, which is weird because I say I'm not a jewelry person. But no, I just like to make people feel good, and that's another way that people feel good is through jewelry. So
Yeah, even for yourself who doesn't take any new clients, that's an easy way to add on more profit and revenue
yeah,
because to do a bracelet like this, it takes 5 minutes.
yeah.
And so literally when you have somebody, one of your clients you're doing waxing on, you can ask them if they want to add on a bracelet or a necklace or an anklet and make another $100 to $200 in profit in 5 minutes.
And then guess what, guys? Jewelry is one of them things where if you like something, you go tell your friends, your family, and then they come and get it.
Yeah.
So
And then they buy more.
they buy more. And I feel like that's the one thing about jewelry too. You can never have like enough
Right.
jewelry. Like,
I know people that have like hand chains, belly
oh, I see
chains,
girls with
everything.
like 10 rings on
Yeah.
one hand. Yeah, I wish I can do that. But
So that's all repeat customers, and so that's why I love it as a business model. And it's still like it was seen on Netflix. It's got actually got over the hashtag permanent jewelry over 350 million views on
Jesus.
TikTok.
Nice.
But it's still early. Like there's not
Yeah.
that many people doing it. A lot of people watching probably still
That's
haven't
another
heard of it.
reason why I want to get into I love to get into things that not everyone's doing. That's very important to
Mhm.
remember. Cause let's face it, before COVID, there weren't that many estheticians, Jake. Do you
Yeah.
know that? It skyrocketed. It like tripled.
Why is that though?
I mean, you know what? I think like having the easiest way for most people to become entrepreneurs is not to go to college for 4 years, but to
Yeah.
do things that give you like a quick license.
Right.
And some people do it because they love the beauty industry. Some people do it because they hear what other people are making, which I don't encourage at all, guys. If you're not in love with something already, don't do it. But I don't know what happened. It just became very popular. And
They were like, I see all these spas getting shut down, so I want to have a
let me
spa
open
that's
up our
shut
own
down.
spa or something. Yeah, but no. So I feel like that's why it's hard for estheticians to build clientele
Mhm.
because there's so many estheticians.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm in
So
Florida, so there's a lot of us.
yeah, a
That's
lot
why
of
I can never move to
competition.
Miami. There's a lot of them up there in Miami. It's a lot of hairy
Mhm.
people to wax too, which is good, but there's just a lot of estheticians.
Yeah, and if you look at places like Miami or where you live, at the keywords, like for
Mhm.
people searching for permanent jewelry, there's thousands and thousands of people searching every month.
But
But
there ain't nobody out there to do it.
exactly.
I'm gonna be the first. Mark my word.
So pretty soon you'll be the permanent jewelry queen.
Oh my God. Listen, I'm gonna have to trademark that because Jake might try to sue me if I use it without doing that. Okay.
Well, we were laughing a couple months ago from when we were refilming our we were filming a Spanish training here. And because I think the Latino community is going to be great for permanent jewelry. They love jewelry.
Mhm.
Um, and we have a lot of diversity on our team, including my business partner Tony. And long story short, they were making a joke that I was like, yeah, I'm going to be the permanent jewelry king, and they're like, no, you should be the permanent jewelry poppy. But
Well, his shirt's always open, guys. So
if you hear PJ Poppy coming out,
yeah,
then
no, no,
no.
no. I like that. I look permanent jewelry queen. I actually like it.
Hmm.
But yeah, you guys gotta definitely okay. So tomorrow, you guys are doing some like live, like you're taking people, customers,
Yeah,
or
we'll be doing permanent jewelry at our booth.
so you guys know I'm gonna get a bracelet made so you guys can see how it works. But I'm excited because I've I can wear a bracelet, especially if it's permanent and it doesn't come off. Like I can do that. But
Mhm.
I think when it comes time like to take the jewelry off, like I hate that kind of
Yeah.
jewelry. So that's why I'm into permanent jewelry because I can rock with that. Anything that's permanent, obviously, I can rock with. So like I have this bracelet on and it's like a balance bracelet. because I'm very clumsy. Most of you guys already know this, but this has been on for like a whole year now. I've never taken it off. I actually got it last year at Premier Orlando last year.
Nice.
So I'm confident that I can do the permanent jewelry and I can wear it, especially because I can't. How do you take it off? You just kind of cut it off if
Yeah, you can
you.
just cut it off, and I
I
mean,
won't. I
like,
won't do that, but I'm permanent with it. I can do it.
it's fun because it's like the same psychology as tattoos. It's just
Mhm.
not as big of a commitment.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt.
Right.
I have 0 tattoos, by the way. Yeah.
Same.
See, this is why I like Jay. We're kinda like the same. This is my brother from another mother, but you guys know we're kinda like the same person.
Yep. So as far as like, 2025. What trends are you seeing now besides permanent jewelry? Like, where do you think, not necessarily trends, but where do you think people are at right now in business? Do you think the economy's helping? Do you think it's hurting? Like, I
Oh,
guess,
it's
what are you
definitely.
seeing in the beauty industry?
I see that it's hurting, especially for the newer, estheticians, for maybe like the past year and a half graduates. It's definitely hurting. I always tell people if you get out of school, I do recommend working for an established like franchise. Even if that franchise doesn't have like, the best reputation.
Mhm.
But it's not to just say you need a job, just go and work there. But you get to see the pros and cons working for someone else first before you actually become an entrepreneur. Also, you're still going to build your clientele in a way. And I don't know, I feel like it's so intimate doing Brazilian waxing that if you decide that you no longer want to work for that franchise, those people will follow you.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's been staring at your cootie popper for like the past year, Jake, like you just want it to be that person. So you're going to go where they go. So my advice to students is unless you already know you can get the clientele from somewhere, they already exist or just waiting on you,
Mhm.
go work for someone else, learn the pros and cons because that's what makes me such a good business owner. I was the manager at European Wax Center for 6.5 years prior to going on like for myself. And so I got to see a lot of stuff, good and bad. And so I know definitely what not to do. Now, do I still make mistakes? Of course, but I don't make as many, if that makes sense, because I know what not to do from seeing it firsthand. So
That's interesting that you were in European Wax Center because that's an example Tony always uses about how, like, when they start a franchise and they're starting a location, they always have to pre-market themselves.
that's important. I tell you, if you're in school now and you know, like you got what 2, 3 months left to go, and you
Mhm.
know that the route you're going with is going to be like, working for yourself, you got to act as if you already have that business, like that it's already open. You got to have your socials, your business profiles made. You have all your ducks in a row. You can't wait till after you finish school to start doing this stuff because that's where the struggle is. But if you plan it, because I believe in having a business plan, if you plan it ahead of time, everything will work out according to the plan, like I promise you guys.
Yep.
So,
Speaking of marketing, earlier you mentioned you grew a lot with Facebook
a
ads.
lot.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So, I made sure that my posts were not too overwhelming
Mhm.
because a lot of people think like they can go on Canva and make this cluttery flyer or whatever. You got to keep it like simple, but also you got to have like you got to like have that what's the word I'm looking for?
Clarity or
Well, clarity, but it has to be that thing where when someone sees it, they're just instantly interested in it. Like they're
Mhm.
just like starstruck from that one
Yeah.
post. And they just want to know more. You know what I mean? Now, I mean, we got all these fancy things now. We got things that if you reach out to someone, it's automatic, like responses and stuff that
Mhm.
help, or things that answer questions for you, the little AI things. I didn't have that back then.
Right.
Back then, I had to be on top of it, responding myself to all the inquiries and stuff like that. That's why I say it's important to really get behind a good advertising and marketing company. That's why like Jake does these free classes and then, great offers at the end of the free classes that you guys should take advantage of and most of you don't, but then you complain about your business not doing well. But I had great success with Facebook ads. I don't really spend time on TikTok ads.
Mhm.
Even when TikTok first came out, I didn't bother. It
Yeah.
just was very overwhelming to learn. And then I think Facebook integrated Instagram and they became Meta. So now
Mhm.
it's kind of easy. Everything's kind of like mesh and you don't have to do as much work. So you guys really should look into like doing advertisements and ads, especially Google ads. Like if you and why aren't you on Google? It's free. Google Business. Like what's going on, guys? It's just little things like that I noticed like a lot of entrepreneurs don't do. And I always believe if you can't do something that's free, you ain't going to pay for something that's not free
Right.
because you already not taking advantage of what's free.
Mhm.
So that's just me.
Awesome. Great points. And that's, we actually did a class last week on Google, and like you said, it's crazy that so many people either don't have a Google business account
Mhm.
or they don't have any pictures on there, they don't have any content on there, and it's just costing them so much business. And studies show that if you're not in the top 3 results of Google, about 70% of people are going to miss you. So 70% of people go to the top 3 results.
Yeah.
And guess what? 2 to 3 of those results are Google Ads. And
Yeah.
so if you're not running Google Ads, you're missing out on most of the customers searching for your service. And the thing about social media is sometimes, social media is great. I run meta ads and all that for my clients, but it's not the same level of a buyer. A person on Google is already searching for the service. They have their credit card out many times ready to purchase. They're just
Yeah.
looking for the right person to purchase from versus social media. They might just be scrolling and like, oh, that looks interesting. They're not in
Yep.
the same part of the sales process.
See, I have this thing where if you actually were to Google like waxing near me in West Palm Beach, like obviously you can tell like the companies that pay for their name to be on top,
Yeah.
but I'm on top actually when you think about it. I'm right there and it sucks because I get so many inquiries and I can't wax them,
Right.
right? But I build a community of what we call SD besties, like the estheticians
Hmm.
nearby.
Yeah.
And of course, I have to verify their work because I'm not going to refer anybody to anybody. But it's nice for them because now they get to build clientele through the people who I can't take and I get to vouch for them depending on what that person's calling me about because not everyone does everything. But I'm so in a way, I'm still utilizing Google Business, but I'm
Hmm.
helping my SD community because I'm referring all these people who I can't take to them.
That's awesome. And that's the power of knowing the right people and having the right
Knowing the right
network.
people. Yep.
Awesome. So I know we talked a lot about, I know we talked a lot on here today. Let's see, redo this one.
That's okay.
So I know we talked a lot today about, marketing and social media and really, I'm at that point where my brain's like not working.
That's okay.
All right. I'm trying to do a conclusion. So I'm trying to figure out how to
Yeah.
conclude it. Is there anything else you want to talk
No,
about? Okay. All right. So we covered a lot today. And I just want to say thank you for coming here. It was,
of course.
I've met you in person multiple times, but it's awesome to be able to actually host you in our new podcast studio.
Yes. It's
So
amazing
you're
in here,
actually one of
guys.
our, I think you might be the first guest speaker I have here. So
Oot, oot.
yeah, I need to get you like a trophy or a
I would actually like one. I will be expecting that tomorrow.
perfect. Awesome. Any other advice you want to give people before we go?
The only thing I want to tell you guys, honest, the only advice I want to give you guys that matters is just get started. And that's just with everything social media, advertisement, your business. Just get started. Just do it. Life is too short not to do it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You're either going to succeed or you're going to fail, but you'll never know if you succeed if you don't get started. So I'm just saying.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned permanent jewelry. We actually have a free class coming up on how to start a permanent jewelry training. So we'll include the link below in the description. And
Nice. You're welcome. You're welcome.
yeah, she actually told me to do that class recently. I was like, yeah, you're right. I need
Because I
to.
wanted to learn. I didn't want to drive to
Yeah,
Orlando, guys. So when I last minute booked this, business gig here for Premier Orlando, I was like, oh my God, I gotta go visit them. I don't care. I'm coming to see Jake and Tony. So
awesome. And where can they find you on social media?
you guys can find me at Waxing Queen Adventures on TikTok and Instagram, and then I'm just Waxing Queen on Facebook. I'm also on YouTube. I'll start posting some fancy stuff there. You might even see more collaborations with me and Jake giving out some great advice. So Waxing Queen Adventures on YouTube as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, and we hope you guys enjoyed it.
All right, guys. Bye.